welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we would just do like a monthly overview of how I budget, and I'll tell you guys, break it down for you and kind of show you what I do personally and the things that I use. I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook. This is the old version. I've had it for probably 3 years now, maybe a little bit longer. And I used to do it by paper, but here recently I've been doing it digitally. I kind of bounce back and forth, but I've really been liking doing it digitally. So I'll just kind of show you what I do. This is the month of April that we're looking into. It is currently March the 20th, and we have one more paycheck, just mine, and then we're done with March. So I'd like to go ahead and start on April and have a month or two and planned ahead. I've already wrote everything out, but I thought I would just kind of go over with you so that the video wouldn't take too long. If you would like a video of me like writing it all out and doing it with me, let me know in the comments. I'll be glad to maybe do that and just kind of speed it up a little bit. Okay, so this is April, and as you can see, most of these bills are pink. That is because if we take a second and we go back and we look at March, this is the last paycheck that we get. We get paid. I get paid on the 26th. I get paid once a month. I'm a paraprofessional, and at a school, elementary school, and so we get paid toward the end of the month every month. It's not a lot, but I've kind of had a career change. I was a pediatric nurse, or I was a nurse, and I worked at a pediatric office for a while, and then I decided that I wanted something different. I stayed home with my girls for a while, for several years, and then when my youngest started, she has some medical issues, and so I thought about just subbing here and there so that I could still be home and be needed, like, you know, not needed, but be there when needed and be able to go to things and stuff. And then I subbed a few times, and I got asked if I would do it full-time and be a long-term sub. I did that for half a year. Then I got hired on as a parapro. I went and took the test, got hired on as a parapro, and been working there ever since. And now currently I'm in school for a teacher. So a complete career change. It's less pay, but I just really enjoy it. I really love working with the kids and stuff. So that's just a little backstory, kind of off topic, but just so you know that where we're coming from. This is not necessarily a channel where you're going to see thousands of dollars stuffed every week or every 2 weeks. That's not our financial journey. I wish it was, maybe one day, but not right now. Our current goal is to save as much as we can, because hopefully if I continue on the path I am with school, I will be starting my student teaching in January, and I will have to quit my job, so I want to have around 8 to 9 months of my salary saved up to cover for when I'm not working, so that it's not a drastic change in our budget. And then fingers crossed I'll get a job as a teacher right off the bat, and we can go from there. Okay, so the last paycheck from March was pink. That shows that my paycheck will pay all of these little bills. I'll go over my bills real quick. We have house, lights, Apple Music, Hulu. We bought something on the Lowe's credit card, which I'll explain in just a second. So I need to pay that back off. Vive, Verizon, more Apple Plus, because I have an iPad, a phone, and a watch that I pay Apple Plus monthly on. I know it's cheaper to do it long run, but I just didn't at the time, and now I could probably kick myself for it. But anyways, Disney Plus, and our car payment and our car insurance. So the only two big debts we have is our house and our car payment. We recently bought a house last few months, and it wasn't that much more expensive than what we were paying in rent. Okay, so on the 1st, my husband gets his VA pay. That pretty much goes to sinking funds or savings. And then with his first check, he'll cover our house payment. Our house payment really isn't due to the 10th, but I just stick it around the 1st or the 2nd because I want it to come out of that first check, so it's not late if I pay on the 2nd, even though it kind of looks like that on my calendar. And then his next check, which is in yellow, will pay our car insurance and our car, and then that's it. And then this will be my check on the 30th, and I'll make it a color for May, and then I'll highlight May's when I do May. So that's just kind of how it works. These little weeks up here is the 52-week challenge. It lets me know what week I'm on. And so I'll flip y'all over to the first paycheck thing. This is the VA pay. He gets the bare minimum. My husband was in the military for 7.5 years. He got diagnosed with diabetes, type 1, while we were in the military. And so because he couldn't deploy, they medically discharged him, and we get the minimum amount of pay you can get, which is $284. So out of that, we just have my sinking funds that will come out. That leaves $51 left over after vacation, birthday, holiday, date night, sports, medicine, and water. And yes, that is a crack. I'm sorry. I've got to get it fixed. And then so that'll leave 51 to debt snowball, which will pay off that Lowe's. Now, one thing I do want to say about that is we save up cash and try to spend everything in cash, but we are wanting to build a house in the next 2 or 3 years, and we still want to keep our credit going and save up our credit or build our credit and stuff like that. So we do put things on credit card, like I'll maybe put my gas on there instead of paying cash, and then deposit that and then pay the credit card off at the end of the month. So that's what we do to kind of build our credit up. So we do still use credit cards here and there. But never for big ticket items. We use our savings for that, and never for something that we don't have the cash to immediately pay it back. One thing I kind of want to show is my little cheat sheet here. This is the bi-weekly amount. If they have a star by them, they're like monthly. But so I'd like to put $50 for medical a month, $50 for car maintenance a month, $50 for school a month. And so I do that, and as I'm writing them down, I check them off to help me keep track of what I've wrote down. That's just something I like to do. That way I know if I still have extra, all these are covered, which one do I want to put more or extra into, or what would I like to do with the extra money. So moving on to, after each bill tracker, I have this, and I will just come in here and I'll write, like in my envelopes, water is the first envelope. I'm trying to put them in order so I don't have to try to find them when I'm doing my cash stuffing videos. So water, and it's going to get 29. And then I'll just continue to like fill this out. What would be next? Because I don't have them wrote out in order on here. So like birthday would be the next one, and it'll get 25, and just so on. And I'll finish the rest off camera. And then that way when I'm doing the actual stuffing video, I can come over here and write my balances. I like to have the balances on here. That way when I am budgeting, I can say, okay, this is at 300. I don't necessarily need any more than that right now. I can put that money to somewhere else. That's just how I personally like to do it. All right, so my husband's check, this is the minimum lowest amount that he will bring home. It's normally several $100s more than that. We live in a rural county where the pay is not the best. But it's enough for us. We are truly blessed. God blesses us. Make sure he provides for us. So that's all that matters. So that's the minimum amount that he gets paid every 2 weeks. Out of that comes the house, and then out of his checks always come our cash envelope. Let me slide in just a little bit. Our cash envelope. So those always come out of his. And then those sinking funds will be out of this one. I do have week 12 and 13, and even though this is can't you see? This has $10 left right now. That $10 will either go toward that 12 or 13, or sometimes I give it to my husband as extra spending money. But his checks are always over this amount the majority of the time. So that's where that week 12 and 13 will come out of. If for some reason I can't, or we don't have the funds in this check to cover that, I will just save it and I'll add it, because somewhere throughout the month we will have it. Same thing for the next check. He works 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so we have a lot of overtime, which is why I just do the bare minimum. So for the next two, we'll have car and USAA coming out. And then, of course, we'll have our cash envelopes that we have come out every single time he gets paid. And then these are the sinking funds that'll be coming out. And then that leaves a zero balance. And then I do have week 14, 15 again. I think week 14 is like 50. Week 15 is 40, so that's $90. And I'll just take that out of whatever's extra left. And then for their third paycheck of the month is my monthly paycheck, which I told you is not a lot. But I pay all the little bills. So that's all of these. And then that leaves $464. I'll put it toward the sinking funds. And then that still leaves $189. So that $189 will go back to cover any April challenges, the 52-week challenge, anything else that needs covering. Or if all that stuff is already taken care of, I'll just stick it in my savings to supplement my pay. Or if I feel like something else needs a little bit of extra on here, I'll do that. Like if I know something's coming up and we're going to need it. So that's pretty much my sinking fund, or my budget for the month. I'll go back and add one of these pages into each one and write them out, and that's what you'll see during my cash stuffing envelope. But that's pretty much how I budget. If you have any tips or suggestions, I would like to get it where my house payment comes out of half of each check, so it's not such a large amount coming out at one time, but I just haven't bit the bullet and done it yet. I don't know why, but that seems to kind of make me a little nervous. So yeah, I don't know. Any tips or suggestions, let me know. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, share, and thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching my video, and I'll see you guys for another cash stuffing video. Wait, I want to add too that, like, the night before he gets paid, I'll check and I'll see like exactly what his amount is, and then I'll go through and I'll tweak any of that needs tweaking, and might do a video with that to show you like how I do the actual paycheck each time he does get paid, because it will vary, and show you how I fill out all the actual columns. But yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.